Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Dropping Into Happiness. This is episode 54, if you're counting. I know. We are your hosts. I am Rachel.
And I'm Maggie.
And for those of you who are watching on YouTube today, because FYI, you can absolutely watch us on YouTube if you didn't know that. We have a channel, you can subscribe, all the good stuff. But we have a special guest today. So our special guest is someone who is very near and dear to my heart, who is actually a very big fan of our show. And we're going to talk essentially to the younger generation today. We are going to talk to the youth of our nation and to see kind of what their mentality and what their vision and what their outlook of what healthy means. Because, I mean, we can preach it all day long, but I was very curious to know, how do they see it? How do they embrace it? What are they doing? So today we have my cousin, Emma. Hi, Emma.
Hey, Emma.
You can say hi. So Emma, do you want to tell them just a little bit about, so tell them your name, your age, where are you at in the world? You don't have to give them the city. You can just kind of give them an estimate. So who are you, Emma?
I am a baker, and I'm turning 11 on St. Patrick's Day, and I'm in California.
Yeah, she is a St. Patrick's Day baby. So
she's turning 11 on St. Patrick's Day. Is that what I heard?
Yeah. She's 10 right now.
I wonder if Emma T is considered a Gen Z.
I don't know.
Because I saw that Gen Z is ages 11 through 26. Okay,
yeah, you're Gen Z.
Just on the cusp of Gen Z. Wow.
Like the baby version of Gen Z.
Gen Zs are just so fascinating to me. I love them so much.
Well, Maggie, what age group do you teach? Because for those that don't know, Maggie is a teacher. She has a full-time job. What age
Believe it or not,
do you teach?
I do work. My job. Well, wait, what? So I've taught middle school. I used to teach 6th through 8th grade. That was my first job. I taught chorus. Now I teach at the high school level. So a lot of my students are 9th and 10th grade, but I have students all the way up to 12th. So, and I
those
do
are the ones
been
giving you the linguistics
yeah,
lessons
I'm
this week.
Staying up to date with all the cool words. What was the word I learned this week?
Riz was one of them.
Riz, yeah, W Riz, L Riz. Just
meaning I'm sure Emma charisma.
Right. You got game. I'm sure Emma could probably drop some knowledge on me for sure.
I know, right? One that we don't know.
Yeah. Rachel, what are you considered Gen Z or not Gen Z, millennial? Are you?
I am at the top, very, very, very peak of millennial. And I've heard in the past that they've even broken millennials down. So I'm technically a different category of millennial because I'm going to say it. I was born in 82. So for these young bucks who their birth year starts with a 2 are thinking, oh yeah, in the late 1900s, that's when I was born.
Okay, yeah, you're right in between. Yeah, millennials are anyone born from 1981 to 1996.
See, and that makes no sense to me because somebody born in 96 is polar opposite.
We're
than
not.
me.
No. Well, I mean, I was born in 93, so
and even then,
we're not crazy different.
No, but you probably had a lot more technology in your life than I did. We didn't have cell phones until I was out of high school. Like that, you know what I mean? Like that was not a thing. Internet was barely a thing. The majority of my book reports were done in a library with an actual book.
With an encyclopedia, no less?
What? Yeah.
How?
I know. But so throwing it back today, thinking about our youth, like I said, I wanted to talk to a youth, the two youths. I want to talk to, if anybody gets the reference that I just did right there, please put it in the comments.
I think you just, you just aged us out. No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
Well, Emma's literally representing the entirety of the youth today.
Yes.
This is Emma, you are the youth. Imagine.
You are the youth of our nation today. So we want to know. So I know you're a pretty active kid, Emma. So, but like you said too, you're also a baker. So I love how you have found a great balance in your life. Yeah. I even have a t-shirt and it's Emma T's Bakery. She sent me one. I got it for free and I get to wear it around.
Now I want one.
She has merch.
Emma T's Bakery.
But so Emma, I know your mom is very active. Your dad is very active. Your grandma's really active. But so if I said to you, what does healthy mean? What even comes to mind for you? If I say, do you live a healthy life? What does that mean to you?
Well, as I see my mom going to the gym, my parents going to to the gym. My grandma goes on walks. Sometimes my grandpa does. Well, that healthy means to me like eating very nutritious foods, eating good, getting a good night's rest, and watching what you eat so you don't affect your body too much.
Yeah. She hit like
I love
every
that
pillar.
Emma said the word nutritious.
Yes.
That really spoke to me. That was amazing.
And what is a nutritious food that you enjoy, Emma?
Well, last year I've been eating too much chips, so this year I'm substituting my chips for apples, so I've been eating a lot of apples.
Ooh, wait, do you have a favorite kind of apple? Because mine is the Fuji or Gala apples. Those are my go-to.
Mine is oval because they're naturally not browning, so I don't. So if I cut them up and put them in my lunch, I know they won't brown. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Me neither. Look, you're teaching us something today, that they don't oxidize and turn brown.
That is good news, because I don't like that either when that happens in the lunch kit.
I know, and it's so funny. Like my daughter, if I make fresh guacamole or something, and it even slightly turns brown, she's like, "Oh, it went bad." And it's like, it's not bad. It oxidized. It's not bad now. Like an hour later, no, it's not bad. But so Emma, you're a very active yourself, though. So what's one of the things that you do for activity?
Well, I do Krav Maga, and I'm a green belt, my 4th belt, and I do 100-mile club at school in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I do PE at school.
Wait, what's the 100-mile club? What do you do?
You can either walk, jog, or run, and I'm above 50 miles, so I ran 50 miles.
Like for the school year?
Oh, yeah. Well, this last semester, I should say.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
What a cool club to have at a school. I've never heard of that before. That is so fun. Here, I was expecting her to say, like, I do cheerleading. But she's like, I'm a green belt. And like, wow, what a cool girly. Well, not that Emma, cheerleading's not cool, but you know what I mean? It was unexpected.
Yeah, because Emma, you didn't really want to do Krav Maga at first, huh? But so what kind of kept you going? Like, what did you really enjoy about Krav Maga?
What I enjoy about Krav Maga, I get to do with my Krav friends, and I get to beat them up. I shouldn't say that, but I have fun with them.
That is pretty fun, though, that I just love that you're enjoying it so much. Because I remember when your mom told me in the very beginning that, like, you weren't too excited about it. But like you just said, you're 4 belts in. Like, you keep like, leveling up in Krav Maga. And I love that. Like Maggie said, so unexpected. Like, that was not an activity that you think of commonly for a 10-year-old to be doing.
Right. I'm not very familiar with it. So are we learning self-defense as well through it? Is it more of like a combat, like martial arts or jiu-jitsu type of thing, or?
It's the jiu-jitsu and military-based self-defense.
Oh my gosh! Now I want to do that.
I know,
Google, right? Unlocked. Yeah. Krav Maga. I have to like Google it because I don't even know how to spell that. Krav
It starts
Maga.
with a K. It's Krav. K-R-A-V.
Oh, Krav.
Krav Maga.
Let us know, listeners, if you've heard of this or tried it. Put in the comments. Let us know, because I'm interested now.
I know,
it
right?
Has piqued my interest.
But like, not only that, so like that, I'm telling you, that's why every time I see that she levels up, I get so proud, because it's an activity. She's having fun with it, so she looks forward to it. Yeah, her friends. She said my Krav friends. So there's specific friends that are in her Krav community, and like, not only that though, she is getting a crazy good activity in, and she's learning self-defense as a female 10-year-old. I mean, moving up in the world. We live in Southern California, where we have a high density of people here, if you've never been. So just knowing that she could protect herself, like, just so many checks marked on that. I love that so much.
Yeah. Everyone was like, do ballet? Absolutely not. Beat up my friends? Sure thing.
Yeah.
That's the energy I want to take into the new year. Let's go.
I know. I love that. But so cool. Emma, you even said, so like, your mom and dad both go to the gym, your grandma goes for walks, your grandpa goes for walks. So like, do you feel like getting an activity just kind of comes really naturally in your household? Like, that's just something that everybody does, huh?
I got a little bit, yeah. Yeah, when I see my parents go to the gym, I'm very proud of them. And I feel proud of them, and it makes me want to be better be better with my body.
See, I love that. Just because you're saying when I see them doing these things, because your parents have never told you you need to go to the gym, huh? They've never told you that.
No.
No, yeah, that's what they do to protect their body and their well-being and their health. And I love that. Like I said, all the way up through her, because I'm not going to say her grandma's name, but her grandma is a lifetime WW member as well. So I know she knows the drill. She knows the program. So, and Emma, you spend a lot of time with your grandma and your grandpa though, huh? So like you probably do you feel like your food habits, the way that you approach food is different because of the way that your grandma, your grandpa, and your mom and your dad do?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, but then you like to bake too, which I love.
Yeah, I want to know more from Emma, because Emma said that she was starting to swap out some of her chips for apples. How did you come to that decision that was something you wanted to start doing? Tell me more about that.
Well, I realized that chips weren't that good for me, so I was like, let's just switch to apples. It'd be better for me, better for my body.
I love how simple it seems. Like, oh, let me just switch it up. I'd be like, apple. I would be like, apple and chips.
Apple chips.
I love it. It's so casual.
Is it like the
apple chips? Yeah.
Is it like the crunch of it that like still gives you that crunchy feeling because apples can be so crispy, or like what? Because that's going from a salty to a sweet too.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess the crunch.
Yeah.
Yes,
it was still having that kind of crunch to it.
It does.
Yeah.
Really.
That's fun. So wait. So I know you bake, but then do you like? Are you learning how to cook too? Like, are you learning how to cook some like very nutritious meals? Like, are you doing that at home with your mom? Because I know your dad likes to cook. Like, your dad, he can get down. I've been to your house when your dad has cooked.
Yeah, I've been learning how to cook for my dad lately, and we've been making healthy hot sauces, I guess you could say.
A healthy hot sauce? Wait, what is in that? What's in your healthy hot sauce? Wait, I know. Okay, if it's a super secret and your dad doesn't want it told to the world, that's okay. But like,
I can't say.
Can you give me a couple things of what's in it?
Yeah, I can't say. Exclusive content.
Yeah,
jalapenos and some other veggies. That's all I can say.
Nice. Okay.
It's like she was prepped for this. They were like, if you get asked about the healthy hot sauce, you must say nothing.
This is a family secret you cannot say out loud. That's so cute.
Oh my gosh.
So what's one of your favorite things that you've been cooking recently? Like, what's something that you've really started to get the hang of and that you enjoy making?
I've been really enjoying making dinner with my grandma. We've been recently having better taco nights. Like having instead of like we've been having turkey meat instead of like cow meat and stuff, which tastes better, and plus my mom says it's better.
And
for me, so.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that too. Like, do you even see a difference in the taste of the meat? So you're like, yeah, not a big deal. Well, let's go to turkey. That's fine. That's still it tastes just as good too. I love that. Just that little swap though can make a big difference when it comes to, fat content, protein, all that stuff. So I like that, just that little swap that you made, that you're learning the importance of that little swap that it's made. But I mean, something that I'm hearing consistently though is you're cooking with your grandma, you're cooking with your dad. Do you ever go for walks with your grandma? Like, do you ever go with grandma out on your walks?
I never have time for that, but I always go on walks at 100 Mile Club with my friends.
Ah, okay. I still love that club. Do more schools have this club? Because I think it needs to be advertised a little bit more.
Right. I want to join the club. Like, sign me up.
Maggie, we should start 100 Mile Club.
We could totally do that.
That would be super fun. And then, it would be on an honor system. Yeah. And then as you walk throughout the week, count your steps or however many miles, especially if you have a smart tracker. And then we can kind of keep it all in one place and that'd be super fun. I wonder if we can make that happen. That's a great idea. Look at this, Emma, teaching us about the opal apple doesn't turn brown. The 100 Mile Club. I'm digging all that. These are so fun. Like, look at this. Talking to this younger generation. They got all kinds of new ideas. Oh my goodness. So, okay, Emma, if you're not doing Krav, if you're not baking, if you're not doing anything, what is an activity you like to do just outside of all your usual things? Like, what's something that's kind of a fun thing for you to go do?
I like walking my dogs. I jog with them and stuff sometimes during the weekends because I don't do that stuff on the weekends. So
that's fun. Well, and okay, I'm just gonna put this out there. I think it's your fault that both of my kids had their birthday parties one year at the trampoline park because I think you had it first, and then they wanted to have theirs there at the trampoline park by your house. Like that was super fun. I love that. But how many dogs do you have now?
3. I have 3 now.
And she just got a new puppy, Maggie.
Yeah.
So fun.
I know. You want to tell Maggie about your puppy, Emma? What kind of puppy is it? Like, what kind of dog is it?
The puppy is an Australian cattle dog, and her name is Harley. So when she's bad, when she's bad, I can call her Harley Quinn.
Oh, I love that. You said an Australian cattle dog. Oh, those
Yeah.
are so pretty. The gym that I go to, the owner of the gym, he also has an Australian cattle dog. His dog's name is Kilo, like kilogram of like a kettlebell or something, which is really funny.
That's cute.
But they're just the sweetest dogs. So that's so fun. I'm really happy for you, and very active.
Yeah.
Buddies, to have around. So
well,
that's
because
so nice.
That's a big thing in your house too, though, right? If it's your dog, you have the responsibility of walking the dog and taking care of them. And like, I feel like that gets you up off your feet too a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Because what are your other dogs? You have 2 other dogs. What kind of breeds are those ones?
They are both French Mastiffs.
Yeah.
So they're
and
big
you
dogs.
walk those?
And only one of them. The other one's like super lazy. He only takes a couple steps and he goes to sleep.
Oh.
Oh
my gosh. Those Mastiffs. That's so funny. Okay, so what are you pulling from this, Maggie? So I don't even know who or how she discovered she was eating too many chips, but I love that. And the substitute of chips for apples, I think that was great. Loving these activities at the school, getting in some after school activity with Krav Maga. So it needs to be yummy. If I want my kids to eat a fruit, then it's got to be fun. Maybe with some friends. Because, like I said, a lot of things that I keep hearing from Emma is I was cooking with my grandma or with my dad or, going here with them or seeing them go to the gym. So, because guys, I feel like we can say to the younger generation over and over and over and over, oh, don't do this. It's not good for you, or this isn't healthy, or I need you to do more walking or whatever. But if we aren't leading by example, I don't know how much that's going to stick. One of the reasons that really hits home for me, and I don't know if I've ever said this in the past, but so my kids are stepkids, for one. I don't know if a lot of people realize that. I came into their life when they were in 5th grade. I lived in Texas for 6 years, and when you move to Texas, you learn real quick that the response to a question is either yes, ma'am, or yes, sir. Like ma'am and sir was ingrained in me when I lived in Texas. So that's just something I say now. My stepkids, I've never ever told them to say yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, or no, sir, or no, ma'am. I've never told them to say that, but they see me do it at restaurants when we're out in public places. Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Yes, ma'am. And they do it now. I've never once told them, I need you to say yes, ma'am, yes, sir. I've never told them to, but they do because they've seen me do it, and they've seen me, embed this into my everyday life and show a sign of respect. And I think that's where we're kind of getting at with this. Like, I knew from the get-go, like, obviously I know Emma, I know her family, I know all that. So I know that her mom is really active. And I know that her dad just recently was like really getting into, what's going to make my body the healthiest. And I love that you guys, your parents have that mindset, your grandparents have that mindset, and it's just filtering into you. And I love that. Emma, do you ever feel like you are influencing your friends, like telling other friends, hey, you should join the 100-mile club with me, or hey, you should try Krav, it's really fun. Like, have you ever done that? Like, tried to get your friends to eat more apples, or you know what I mean? Like, have you ever influenced your friends, you feel like, to be a little bit healthier in their own lives?
Yeah, I have. Last year, I kept telling my friends to come join.
Yeah.
So.
Did they join?
No.
Oh no. You tried. Yeah. I
tried.
Oh, that's so
One
sweet.
thing, just from my time in the classroom and, learning about different age levels and kind of just where we're at in terms of our development, where Emma is and, a pretty big range around that age level, they're sponges. I mean, they will just soak up everything, whether they want to or not, whether they're intending to or not, whether you want them to or not. They are sponges. And so, one, yes, leading by example. It sounds like a lot of the people in Emma's life specifically are doing that. And I remember, my mom, who I love, would tell me, like, you need to lose weight or you need to exercise, but she was not taking those steps. And I remember being like, well, why do I have to do it if you don't have to do it? Right.
Yeah.
So to have like that example, I think is really great. On the other hand, too, it's like, because they're such sponges and they listen to everything and they hear and they accept, it's like we have to be careful about the way that we talk about our food and the way that we talk about our body and why we do the certain activities that we do. And it sounds like, Emma's parents are making an effort, that she says the word nutritious rather than, oh, I just know chips are quote unquote bad for me. She was like, I know that they're not doing as much for me where an apple would do. It was just like the wording and stuff I think is so important, like how we have these conversations. And I think we touched on it like in a Q&A or something, like an episode. I don't think it was a full-blown episode about how to talk to the youth, but we did touch on it, how it's okay to have conversations with them about it without them feeling like they need to be on a diet or tracking any type of thing, or but then the language that we use is so important because we're educating them just by how we live our life and the example that we set. So,
she never said that word. Yeah, Emma never used the word diet. Like you said, she used the word nutritional, right. And like, I know apples are good for me. Yeah, like, I had a student.
I was drinking an energy drink,
I saw
and
that.
I asked my student to throw it away for me, because they were right by the trash can, and so they looked at it and they were like, Miss Smith, is this an energy drink? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, oh, these are so bad for you. 200 milligrams, it's like 2 cups of coffee. And then, we had a conversation and I was like, well, this is the only caffeine that I'm going to have for the day. And, they suggest 300 milligrams at most. And I said, this one, has no sugar. And we just like talked about it a little bit more, but it's interesting. Like they are forming their opinions about, things. And like I had one student, I've hurt my foot. For those that don't know, I'm in a boot, and I did a workout where it was just abs and arms, and I took it very easy, but I had a student message me on Instagram and said, Miss Smith, I know you really value your health. Just please be careful. Like they care about me. They don't want me to like push it too much. So like they are watching, they are paying attention to how I live my life and the way. So it's just, it's so interesting and so fun. And I just think it's so cool. I think a lot of the youth too are expanding their interests. Yeah. Which is exciting because you think like, oh, they're just on TikTok all the time. But then you hear like Emma and she's like, oh no, I'm in like Krav Maga and I'm in like this 100 mile club and like all of this stuff. So it's like, oh, this is exciting. Like they're not all sitting around doing nothing, where like, I think that's a narrative that people like to push on the younger generation is like, oh, they're just like scrolling TikTok and like their brains are not developing, or like they're just, people are
my
so
son
nasty.
plays a lot of video games.
Right. So it's like, we could totally go down that rabbit hole, but it's like, I think there's a healthy person has a balance of all the things.
Yes.
Right? It's not just like there is time to sit and relax and scroll on your phone, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then like, oh, I'm on my way to get my next belt. This is like so cool.
I know.
Love it.
Well, we've reached the time where we get to our star goals and recommendations.
Yeah. So y'all, I actually have a new star goal. Because I have been maintaining my tracking streak. Although my WW app, can you all hear me okay?
I feel like your mic went out, so it's going through your computer now, but not your mic by your head. It like dropped real quick. That was weird. Nope.
No, I think my recorder, my mic must be on the way out. Can you hear me, friends?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just kind of low. I'll have to raise this one up.
You'll
Yeah.
adjust it for me. Sorry,
Okay.
friends. I will buy a new mic after this podcast.
Okay.
But as I was mentioning, I had logged out of my WW app, or I'd reset it because it was having some techie issues, and then the streak went away. And I was so sad because I was at over 60 days. But I know in my heart that the streak lives on because I just started a new streak. But my goal anyway is to eat 12 out of 15 meals Monday through Friday of this coming week of foods that I have made from home, recipes that I have made, not eating out or like meal prep that I've purchased from somewhere else. Last week I did 13 out of 15 meals, which I was super excited about. Wanted to give myself a little bit more wiggle room. So 12 out of 15 meals. And then my recommendation is a product. I was like, I'm going back and forth between like two different things, but I'm going to go with this. So if you are someone like me and you have dry skin, especially this time of year, dry lips, elbows, hands, this thing called Bag Balm Skin Moisturizer. It's for your hands, feet, elbows, knees, cuticles, lips, and face. It comes in this big tub, and it's very inexpensive for how much you get, and it works wonders. I've never found anything that I say this works even better than Aquaphor or anything like that.
And I like Aquaphor. Yeah.
And it smells nice. But it says the legendary rescue balm for the farms of Vermont's rugged Northeast Kingdom, saving skin since 1899. How cool is that?
Wow. I like it. And you guys know, like, whenever Maggie does a product, whenever Maggie recommends a product, I'll put the link in the show notes if anybody like wants to get to it. So I'm going to do my recommendation first because my goal is going to kind of stem from my recommendation. So my recommendation this week, I think we should all do an activity from our youth. Something we haven't done in a long time. Maybe it's play Foursquare. Maybe it's, do you remember Skip It? Did you ever have a Skip It, Maggie? Where like, I want to do a Skip It or a jump rope, jacks, like some kickball. I mean, something that we haven't done since our youth. So mine this week, I mean, Maggie and I have talked about this for probably almost a year now. How we wanted to be jump rope girls. And Maggie is working on hers a lot more than I am mine. So I want to jump rope at least once this week. Even if I only go around 10 times, I want to get my jump rope out. I want to move it around my body at least 10 times. So that's my goal for this week because I've been doing pretty good on my goals. I've been setting some pretty realistic goals, and I love when I crush them because then I can build from that. So that's going to be mine this week. So, all right, guys. Maggie, do we have a quote for today? Actually,
Well,
I think
Rachel,
there's two, huh?
Rachel, this whole podcast was a tangent from our announcements. Did you want to share any announcements before we wrap up this recording? Because we did not at the beginning.
Yes, you have announcements. Yes. Okay, go ahead and do announcement real quick.
So the first one that we wanted to announce was I got some requests for like a Dopey Week recap. So I did complete the Dopey Challenge. People wanted to know just like details of how things went and even just like what I did at the parks and what I ate and all that kind of fun stuff. So I'm going to do an Instagram live on the Dropping Into Happiness podcast on January 30th. This episode will go live on Wednesday, the 25th. So it'll be the following Monday, January the 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I will save it. So if you can't make that time, then you'll be able to access it on the Instagram page at a later time. And then Rachel, did you want to announce the update with the Patreon?
Yes. So just recently, I started as a Patreon. If you don't know what Patreon is, it is essentially a platform. If you're like, hey, I support you guys and I want to show my support. It is a place where you can essentially get like a monthly subscription. The very lowest one, which was the only one I have set for right now, generally just says, I support you guys. I want to help out. I want to support you guys. But I will have other levels, and these other levels are going to have extra perks. So essentially, it's going to be like some discounts in the merch store, or you're going to have some exclusive content that we won't put out on the regular podcast or on Instagram. It will be exclusive to Patreon. So that is live. You can go to Patreon, search Dropping Into Happiness podcast, and you can find it there. Like I said, there will be exclusive content on the Patreon. And should we ever start doing more things like lives or things like that, we can always announce that. Like that might end up being like a Patreon exclusive thing. So you'll only figure it out if you're on Patreon. So if you want to find us on there, like I said, there will be more levels, but we just wanted to get it started, get it kicking off for 2023, and we'll get going with that. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be fun.
Yay. So cool.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So do you have our quotes, or do you want me to do quotes?
I have a quote. Children have never been very good at listening to their elders, but they have never failed to imitate them. And then our second quote is, it is easier to build up a child than it is to repair an adult.
Yeah, I love that one. I really do think we got to start building these healthy habits and showing and instilling these healthy habits in our youth, because that's what they'll grow up with. That'll be a norm. It won't feel like something as an adult that they have to completely alter and change, which I feel like, not saying my parents instilled bad habits in me, but you know what I mean? Like it's been a lot more of a struggle to build these healthy ones. So I love that. So all right. Well, thank you so much for coming, Emma. I know she was very excited to be on here with us today. So if anybody has any questions for Emma, you can always put it on our YouTube channel and I can get them to her. But she also follows our YouTube also. So she'll even pop in there and answer if you have any questions for her specifically. So, all right, friends. Well, it's time to say it. So thanks for dropping by.
Have a magical day.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.